All right. What's going on, everybody? I am Adrian Bay, the Mad Backer. What's going on? All right. I've been getting hit up a lot by parents with young athletes, and you guys are asking how to keep the youth engaged and mentally how they're feeling. Without sports. School is different now. Women, the girls really like the proms and the senior balls and all that, and we don't have that now. But when it comes down to the athletes, what I want to say is that sports are a mental game. So you don't necessarily have to be out there on the field. Especially when you're young, my piece of advice is to work on your mental game. I think we see a lot now, and we always hear about the physical, and we see everybody building, and we see everybody running, and we see all the training facilities. And, everybody's talking about training. Everybody has some type of supplement to take. But we don't hear a lot of people talking about the mental aspect of the game, the mental aspect of life. One thing in being a young athlete is you have to be attending school. So I feel that most subjects other than history, because history in so-called U.S. history is pretty one-sided. And, but most of the other subjects are, I'm talking to the athlete now, and then I'm talking to a certain athlete. The school, you're able to instantly utilize what you're learning in school and apply it to whatever else you're doing in life, right? Not necessarily the test per se, but what you're learning, what you're hearing from the teacher, what you can see or not see from the teacher. You're looking at different teachers. Look and see how different people are. Look and see how and find out who you are. If you're young right now, it's all about soaking up and taking in everything that you could take in. For the athlete, at the same time you're doing that, you're trying to build your body up, but at the same time you need to be building up your mind, right? That's what it's about. And so it's not necessarily about being out and being on this field and being on a field or being on a court. That is entertaining other people, right? Because whether the people are there or not, you're physically going to be doing something, right? But you're also mentally going to be thinking of something a totally different way, right? And so when you're young and you're actually trying to perform to go somewhere else, it really doesn't matter if no one's there because it's being recorded. So it's all mental on, can you do whatever it is that you're trying to make yourself do consistently over and over and over and over? And if you can do that, where are you in terms of everybody else? That's what it's about. It's competition, so the first thing is just self, so when they're asking me, when parents, you guys are asking me what can be done and what you guys are doing and what can you advise them, I would advise the youth into board games, video games, different things of competition. If you have siblings, try to compete. The thing is about competition. School, going to school. If you want to go to college, you're going to be competing against a whole bunch of other people, right? Do you know how to type? Do you know how to cook? Is mom doing everything for you? Do you know how to wash clothes? Do you know how to wash dishes? Do you know how to do different things, right? Because as you go up, mentally, you're going to have to still be able to perform at a high level, but to be able to do all these other things. All right. So that's for you. That's for the youth. Now for the college guys going into the pros, right? All right. So we just had the NFL draft. So now the draft is over, right? They make the draft try to look like it's for the athlete. The draft is for the fans. right? That's why they post all the placards up there. It's for the fans, for you fans to know what new part of the business that they brought in. All the new stuff for the new business. Hey fans, here's this guy that you guys were watching in college. Maybe you weren't, but he's on this team now. It's not really for the player, right? player hasn't gotten a dime yet, right? But it's for the fans. So now, what I always love about this part of the year is now that the draft is over, now we're going to get back to when we do after the COVID. Maybe we might not get back to sports. I don't know. But if it goes back to BC before Corona, then we'll be talking about, playing the sport. But right now, after the draft is set for everybody, for every player to get their money, right? That's all the draft is where one player went, right? First, second, third, all the way through round 7. Where they went is going to determine the amount of money they're going to get paid, right? That's all the draft is, and what team they're going and what team owns them. What team has their rights for 3 years, all right? That's what the draft is. Now, the players are going to have to get in there and play. Now you got to play. So draft, I don't give a damn what school you went to, all that stuff's not going to matter. Because when you get someone like me that came in there, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for so-and-so at such and such school, and oh, you're so-and-so. Everybody on the team is doing that. The first round pick comes in there and everybody's looking at him. These are a whole bunch of alpha males. WNBA alpha females. Whatever it is competition, right? It's a mental game instantly within your own team, right? Everybody says team, but as soon as you first get there, you better be mentally ready to display who the hell you are and what your skills are. Because someone like me that wasn't drafted, as soon as I arrive, the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking at who's supposed to be the guys, right? And everybody sizing everybody up, and the opposite side of the ball, the same thing, and then game is recognizing game. So you need to mentally prepare as well as physical, and I almost think even more so, right? You have a Tom Brady who was drafted in the 6th round, right? And Tom Brady can't really run faster than anybody, right? But it's his decision making that he could do almost better than most, right? That makes him be able to be effective, and it's his knowledge of the game. So use this time to build that up. Everybody wants to talk about being on the field. Use this time right now to get your mind right, right? You have all the access to all these videos, to all these old games. You have your old games. Break yourself down. Watch yourself. Go and critique yourself. Look at your opponent. Look at your team. Look at the defense. Look at the offense. Look at the special teams. Right? Look at how to be safe. Look at how to play with your hands. Right? Look at how to be a better student, a better sibling, a better human. Like, it's all mental, and it's a mental game, right? Those of you guys that are going on and you've been drafted, congratulations. Or if someone that has them that's going to tell them, I hope you guys pass this, click like, share, whatever, talk trash, like it, give a compliment. I appreciate it. But what's going to happen now is you have a lot of athletes, right? A lot of them come from all these major schools, so-called, right? Things have been taken care of for them, right? Now you're going to have to get to this team, and you're all on your own. You got to go get your groceries. Maybe you were doing that in college. I'm saying from living it, right? There's a lot of guys that don't know how to go off and do this stuff, right? They haven't been washing their own clothes. They haven't been They haven't had to drive themselves to the game yet, right? They haven't had to do all these different things that in which they're going to call a pro. They haven't had to come down on their so-called off day and to take care of things and to watch film and to actually know how to be a pro, right? Because you're coming into it with the fan mindset. But now after the draft or after you've signed, you're instantly a pro. But you're a pro without a pro mindset, right? That's at that level of it. And the competition is fierce. So now we're back to football. But hey, like my suggestion and what I want to say for those parents that were asking is work on mental things. Say you're going to do something and try to stick to it. Say you're going to wake up every day, every other day, and you're going to do at such and such time, and mentally see if you can stick to doing that, right? Because when you get to these new teams, there's going to be a whole new language now, right? So the better you've trained your mind to be able to do different things, to deal with different people in different environments, the better you will be, right? I mean, it's like, look at your Peyton Manning, tall, Peyton, Tom, these guys are tall, tall in the quarterback sense, but not necessarily athletic, right? But not necessarily over talented, but because of their decision making and because of their mental part of the game. John Moran, I mean, look at him out there in basketball. I mean, what does the guy weigh? You know what I mean? But he's just going, but he's dribbling all around over people out there dunking on him. I mean, he's a little dude. Steph Curry, right? It's when you look at how Golden State plays, and if you even watch them on how they operate on defense, it's a mental game and it's a mental setup of how they operate, how they set back screens, and what they know time and time again when they keep doing this, how they're manipulating their opponent to think and how they react and how they play off of it. Those are all tools that play into it. Because the majority of the athletes and the players aren't so outrageously gifted like your Randy Mosses and your Lawrence Taylors and your Bo Jacksons. So the majority of the others, they have a nice physical strength of somewhat, whether it's speed, whether it's strength, stamina, so on and so forth. But they're really well at the mental aspect of it. The mental game of being able to practice, to be able to intake the game plan, the knowledge, and how to apply it and input it at a high level. The ability to be able to change environments, change schemes, the ability to be able to forget things and to do something different. Work on that, and you don't have to always be about the physical. All right. What's up, Yvette? I'm here trying to work these. Exactly. Don't be complacent. Anybody have any questions? Hey, Cheryl. What's up, P. Willis? What's up, Jason? Y'all got any questions? I don't think I know how to use this on here. It just tells me who's. What's up, Edmund? James? What's up, D. Scott? What's up, y'all? What's up, Jeff? Blaine Harding, one of my best teachers ever at Colorado State. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Mike? Y'all got any questions? That's all my advice I had, is just, what's up, Cody? What's up, cuz? What's up, Lewis? Mental game. Young athletes, young athletes, your guys' neck should be so huge right now from not being able to play. You guys should just be sitting there just because you're not wearing a helmet. If you're a football player, your neck, you got to work on your neck. So right now is a major time. Like I should see a bunch of, I should now see a bunch of young males just with their necks like this because because you haven't had to put on a helmet. You guys should just be every day your neck should be just hurting because this is what's going to protect you in the game. If you guys are football players and you want to go out there and risk it, but that's why you got to work on this because it's a mental game to be able to go out there and either get hit by these men or do the hitting. It takes a toll to be able to not only prepare your body, but to be able to prepare your body and your mind to continue to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what your job is. In college, coach could yell a little bit. You had class, they could only keep you for a little bit. You get to that pro level, you're going in at 8, and you getting out at 4:30. It's not college. It's not college where you're strolling on in from class and so on and so forth. It's people's livelihoods are at stake. And you're in the locker room with grown men, grown men with families that are fighting to be, I think they increased the rosters now, but before, it was 53. It's only 53 people on a team, and then you have a couple, 2-3 quarterbacks, kicker and a punter and a holder. Not a lot of space, not a lot of room for error. That's the reality of it, and a lot of these youngsters and these coaches, these parents, you guys are doing your children a disservice by allowing things at a certain space and time in their life to be easier. It makes them not be able to necessarily deal with it later. Coaches included. You guys are to be preparing to prepare them for where they're going. That's what school is. So right now you guys just have to make it up. Work on the mentals. Learn how to type. Being a better student, like I said, minus history. Whoever's a history, my dad was a history teacher, but I super dislike U.S. history because they're not really telling the truth. But all the other subjects, math, you're an athlete, math and science, you don't just be taking it in for the grade and for, I'm sitting in class. Like, take math and science and apply it. Apply it to your game. That's what I did as a player. I just knew if I can get a certain level when I was lighter, it didn't matter that the person was bigger than me. Then as I started to finally get in my body, then I got bigger. Then I kind of got lazier because I knew I didn't necessarily need to be lower with this because I knew the velocity that I was coming at. And then I started waking up on Monday and feeling my shoulders. And I said, yeah, now I understand why Coach Al Roberts says to use your hands. Because it's cool making the highlight film, and I think I made Chris Berman's Big Sticks and stuff back in the day. But it wasn't cool feeling my shoulders and my neck after after that pounding. And that's when I started to wake up and realize, I'm like, this is my second year and my shoulders feel like this in my neck. How do guys play a long time? You know, so that's what I want to advise you guys on now is work on your mental game and then work on the things that are going to protect you. I don't know how to get to the questions over here. I know it popped up. Oh, here we go. I think if I hit this button. But that's it.